are you?
I'm good. How about you?
I wish a fine day for you. I will ask a few questions about our Erasmus project.
Yeah.
It's about museum learning. And I ask you whether you go to a museum in our lives, physically or online.
Well, sometimes I go to museums
Yes.
only about art.
Yeah.
I don't enjoy like animal museums. Only about art. Yeah.
All right. You?
I prefer online.
Online. You know, especially our project appeared out, especially during this COVID breakout, people couldn't go outside and they didn't have any chance to visit a museum. But after this COVID breakout, people had a chance to go museums online. For instance, during those times, I remember went online in a Mexican museum, Frida Kahlo Museum. Have you ever heard about it? Yeah. I visited around and it was so nice. So, do you mean something like that?
Something like that. It's easier to see in my culture than look at the art.
So,
Yeah,
visiting a
actually-
museum at the cousins of the home.
Yeah. I actually agree with him. It's more relaxing when you sit at home and just like watch the different. Yeah.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much for your participation.
Of course,
Yeah,
of course.
thank you.
Thank you so much.
For an Erasmus project, and this is for the dissemination of the project. Thank you very much for your participation. The first question is, have you ever been to any museum before?
Yes.
Yeah, what kind of museums do you visit mostly?
Art museums, I would say.
Yes? Art museums,
Yeah, or natural
natural history museums.
history museums. Yes.
Right, okay. Have you ever been to any activity in a museum before?
Not really. No.
Not really. Okay. So, do you think, I just am curious about your answer, why do we use museums in our lives?
Well, I go there to be
A part of life?
inspired. Like,
Yeah.
I guess
And,
the main thing for me,
yes.
and to learn, of course.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Hi. It's so nice to see you here, and I am going to ask you some questions about museum learning. First of all, what subject do you teach at school?
I'm teaching art and craft. So in the list of the subjects I have, there is culture from my country and culture from the other world.
Yeah, good.
So I have to educate the students in that.
Right. So then your topic is quite hard, art and crafts, because it must be very hard to teach them via COVID breakout. But before then, do you use museums as a learning outcome, learning environment in your classroom?
Yes, we have a museum here we went to, and we have the museum over the internet.
Yeah.
That one from Vänersborg was last year. It's an app, and you can find a lot of historic things on that one. Or we can choose to use a museum app for walking around the art museum in Sweden.
Yeah, good. What kind of reactions do your students give out when they go to a museum physically?
They are like overwhelmed, like, oh, the pictures are so big.
Yeah.
The painting are so big. Why are they doing this? Why are they showing this?
Yeah.
Contemporary art, especially. They like, oh, everything is not nice, Amelie. It's hard and it's ugly something. So they have a lot of reactions.
Right. How do you evaluate your students' learning outcomes after museum visit?
We have in the school we have another app that the students write down all the things they have been seeing at the museum.
Yeah.
And they are having special questions they have to answer afterwards.
All right. Thank you so much for your participation.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hello.
I know you are both teachers, and I want to ask you two different and separate questions. First, to you. I just heard that you are a fine arts teacher.
Yes, I
and
am.
do you use museums as a learning environment for your students? And if yes, how do you use the museums?
Yes, all the time, because my field being art, the students are very interested, and not all of them can travel abroad or in our country to visit the museums they are interested in.
Yes.
So I use all the time online museums, applications, pictures with high resolution to discuss about the techniques of art, of drawing, of painting. They have the possibility to meet online the museums and the
How
art.
do you evaluate your students' learning outcomes? Do you use web tools? Or
Yes,
do you
they
send them
use.
some links?
Yes, we all the time. They use all the time because they need to be inspired,
Yes.
and they are inspired by classics, the classic art, and this is the way they
So classic
learn.
art is being evaluated by digital.
Yes, all the
Yeah,
time, all the
yes.
time. Now it's a great
Yeah.
opportunity for
So
me
nice.
to teach them and for them to learn.
Okay.
Because they have time to analyze and to get their new sketches, to try something, to draw on the canvas
Yeah.
virtually.
Yes.
So a museum, a virtual museum, is always a very welcome material of teaching.
So it must be very hard for you to make this type of lessons during COVID period.
It was,
Online,
yes,
yeah, isn't
it
it?
was, and it was very, very good because there were some applications, there were some online material that I could use in that period. Thank you.
Now, yeah, I know you are a teacher too, but I will ask you, as a citizen, would you prefer to go to a museum physically, or would you like to visit online museums?
Well, as a citizen, I would prefer to go physically, but who can go to see Mona Lisa in
Yeah.
physical conditions when you don't have the necessary means or the time? So I prefer both, of course. I have seen Mona Lisa online, and I have seen Mona Lisa on the spot. So, of course, physical is better.
Yes.
I think it's a mix, and it should be. Sitting in front of your computer at home or at school, you can directly be in China, in Japan, in Paris, in which country, which city you want to. So having the opportunity to access online museums is life-changing.
Yes.
It's like you open a window and the world is out there. So it's okay.
Yeah.
As compared to physical visits to the museum, of course, you feel the atmosphere, the smell, you can see, you can not touch, but anyway. So you get into the...
But you have the chance to see with the naked eye.
Yes, with the naked eye, the naked truth.
Yeah.
Yeah, so both are good. They cannot exist one without the other.
So we can say online visiting is a lot better for the people with disabilities, for the people who don't have any chance,
Yes,
for the
yes.
people
And
who
there's-
cannot afford to
yeah.
go to Paris.
And
Yes,
and there's something more. You can visit a museum at midnight
Yeah,
from home.
yes.
Yes, which you
Yes.
can't actually
no, okay.
on the spot. So both are great.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you very
for your
much.
Thank you very
participation.
much.
Thank you. It's nice to make an interview with you here. I will ask you, I know you are both not teachers yet, you're going to be teachers in the future, but I will ask you about your experiences when you were at high school. Did your teachers used to include museum learning environment as a lesson into your classroom? Did they used to include it?
Yeah, sometimes, especially in the last years. When we were younger, they didn't used to do that. But in the last years of high school, I remember that sometimes, yeah.
What kind of museums do they mostly prefer?
Archaeological,
Yeah.
for example.
Especially, you mean the history teachers mostly prefer to take
Yeah.
students to archaeological museum.
Usually.
For instance, I am an English teacher, and I think you both are going to be too. Can we include museums to our lesson plans? For instance, when we are talking about simple past tense to our students, I think it could be a better idea to take them to an archaeological museum to talk about people's past lives, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because
Yes.
you're always listening about it, but you don't actually see what they did
Yeah.
in the moment. So if you go and see what they did, I think that you can have like a different perspective. of
Yeah,
it.
and also instead of explaining explicitly the past tense,
Yeah.
you are including the history
Yes.
with the past tense, and they will learn it without realizing that they are learning the
Alright.
past tense.
And one more question. In Turkey, we are mostly making Erasmus projects with the theme, and we mostly focus on STEM projects, and STEM is focus on the cooperation between different type of teachers, like art teacher, history teacher, English teacher. Can they or did they used to cooperate with an art teacher about an art history, with a history teacher? I'm asking your English teachers. I am just asking out of curiosity.
Not really, but we do have studied last year when we were studying the masters to be a teacher. We studied how to cooperate between different subjects, exactly. But our teachers, I was a teenager a long time ago, like 10 years ago, but they didn't used to do that. That is, I think, new from now.
Okay.
Yeah, it's something of the latest years.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much for your participation. Thank you. Two fine ladies to interview. Thank you very much. You are a student here in West University, aren't you? Okay. We are recording for an interview for our Erasmus projects, and it's about museum learning. Do you ever go to a museum?
Yes.
Yeah. What kind of museums do you go?
I can not remember I have been in a museum.
Yeah, really.
Last year.
It depends. Last time I was in a museum was last summer. It was a museum about the medical history.
Medical history.
Yeah, and there was a museum about nature.
But I have been to many museums, but I haven't heard about medical history museum. It was very nice. Is it here in Trollhättan or?
No, there is a museum in Vänersborg.
Vänersborg.
Yeah, it's a
Right.
I didn't know that.
neighbor city.
Yeah.
And I took there my kids. I have 2 daughters, and I take them to different places, different museums. I have been to museum about radios, about
so
art
nice.
and stuff like that.
So then you go to a museum to be a role model for your kids or for yourself? Why do you go? Why do you go see a nurse? Really? I didn't know. Are you a nurse?
Yeah, I'm a nurse.
Yeah, so it's so explainative.
It's mostly educational purpose for my children. I want them to see what is out there. So
Right. So do you study nurse here?
I study a special
Special needs?
Yeah, no, a pediatrician and nurse. I've been nurse for 7 years now. I'm going for my magister. Yeah.
Okay.
You are going to be a specialist?
Yeah, specialist.
Okay. And one last question. We as teachers trying to include museum learning into our classrooms a lot more than the previous year. So, did your teachers used to take you to a museum when you were at high school?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
No.
No?
Where did you go high school?
In Iran.
Okay. Because it's like a mandatory here throughout the school years, from 0 to high school.
It was fascinating to be in it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. What we are doing is right then.
Yeah. It was mostly school trips, and it was a nice way to change a bit of the classroom and the books to be out there and experience something.
Yeah. Thank you very much for your participation.
Thanks.
Thank you.